Hello, gorgeous. I am back. Hello, hello. If you are new here, my name is Eileen Nazario, and I talk about growth in life, but primarily careers. And specifically, I want to help hardworking, soulful women who either work in tech or want to work in tech go from being unsure, unclear, or scattered in their job search to having crystal clear vision and confidence using a structure that helps them align with their own desires, their own North Star, so that they can get the jobs and careers that they're truly excited about. And today I want to talk about a subject that has been on my heart for some time. I haven't spoken much about this at all in my life in general. I rarely talk about it with my friends. I talk about it pretty frequently at home with my mom, for example. And it's the topic of letting God use you, letting God use you in your life and career. And the way I like to view it is that God is essentially living out a mission, a purpose through your life. So, in what ways are you letting God use you? When you look at your career and where you want to go, where you're headed, I know I do this pretty frequently and have done it frequently throughout the entirety of my career so far. And that's to ask the question, what mission does God have for you? Are you aligning yourself with that mission and flowing in the direction of that mission? This is what I speak about pretty deeply in my Ignite Your Job Search program, which I'm currently enrolling in. And it's one of the first topics I dive into. And the reason that is because to me, having any job without understanding, at least having a hint of where God wants me to be, is me not being intentional about my career. It's me not being intentional about where I'm spending my time, where I'm placing my energy. So, I've shared stories about this in previous videos, but there was always a reason that I went after a particular company through a job search. And a lot of the reasons behind why I went after a particular company in my job searches, multiple, um, has been because of the company mission, the company culture, or what the company represents to me. And it was always with a desire to align with my mission. And in the early days of my career, where I might not have had a great idea of what that mission is or was, I flowed in the direction of my curiosity. Since I wasn't very clear about what that mission looked like, what that vision could be, I let my curiosity lead the way because I believe that my curiosity doesn't just it's not coming from me, it's coming from God. God is placing these billboards of sorts in my life so that I can raise an eyebrow at it and say, "Oh, that's interesting. Let me dig a little deeper into that." So that's what happened when I got my first job out of college. Google was the company that I was just raising an eyebrow at and was curious about. And it's the only company that really excited me when I thought about going through the job search and having a full time job after college. So that was me following my curiosity when I didn't have a clear idea of what my mission was. At that job, however, I started working with a coach, the very first coach I ever worked with, and she helped me understand where I want to be of service in life. And it turned out through the 6-month experience that I had with that coach that the way that I wanted to be of service, at least in that moment in time in my life, which is playing out up until now, is that I wanted to help women who look like me, who come from similar places as I do, to have a purposeful career and a career that feels good to them and learn how to go through the job search in a way that feels good to them, in a way that aligns with who they are. And that's what I discovered in that coaching container. And so, ever since I made that discovery, every single job search I have had since then has been with that mission in mind. And this is not something that I spoke with the coach about. This is something that really just grew out of that experience. And the very next time I had a job search, I just knew in the depths of my heart that if I'm going to work at another company, it's going to be because the company is aligning with where I want my life to go. So the two job searches I have had ever since that experience has been with that in mind. So the job search directly after that was at a company that aligns with careers. So LinkedIn was the company that I went to after I went through my whole adventure in doing a coding boot camp, switching careers from marketing to engineering. And the job search after I decided to leave LinkedIn was where I wanted to work at a company where they care about creativity and allowing people to live out their creative careers, their creative lives through the mission that the company has. And in addition to that, I wanted to find a company where I could fully express, at least start to express my femininity to the extent that I felt comfortable with in a corporate environment. And that's why I'm at my current company now, which is one of the leading audio streaming companies in the entire world. And that to me is letting God use me by being on mission. And it's kind of funny because the idea of this really came to me in the form of like me being an instrument, and God is the music that flows out of me. So God is using me like an instrument. I just realized that I work at a literal music company. And that was not intentional at all, but it makes sense. So, um, so that's the next thing I want to chat about. Like, you are the instrument, God is the music, and God is flowing out of you like music flows out of an instrument. And the way that looks like, the way that manifests through my perception is through the way you speak, through the way you walk, the sway of your hips, through the way you look, the glance in your eyes, through the ways you express yourself, through the way you relate to others, the way your heart connects with others. When you show up to interviews, the personality that you put on display, the energy that you infuse that interview with, or infuse your resume with, or infuse your networking with, the vision that you express in your interviews, in your resume, in your networking, the ways that you reflect on the skills, the talents, the experiences that you have had at your prior jobs that are going to be of value to this company that you're interviewing with or are seeking to see if it's a good fit for you to work in and for them to hire you. So let's dig a little deeper into that as well. Let's double click into that. In your interviews, let God use you. So I remember when I would be pretty nervous prior to interviews, um, primarily during college, but definitely after college as well. I would chat with my mom about being nervous, and she would say something almost each and every single time. She would tell me, or she would just pray, may God be the one who speaks for you in this interview. So I've already done all the preparation. I've already prepared stories for different questions I would imagine coming up. I've already imagined scenarios of different questions they might ask and based on skill sets that they're looking for. I've already done all of that preparation. I've already done research on the company, so I understand what they're looking for and how I align with what they're looking for. I've already done all of that. And my mom's message was like, you've already done all of that. Now, may God be the one who speaks for you during this interview. May He be the one who pairs the question they're asking with the preparation you have done, create a match. And that really changed the game for me because it brought this level of release and relaxation. It's interesting too because she would take it a little further. She would then say, "And may God also be the one interviewing you." So not only is God the one speaking through me, He's also the one interviewing me. So it's like God having a conversation with Himself. Um, but that really released the pressure from me because it made me realize, like, God has got this. God is figuring it all out. And when we do that, then during our interviews, we're not as afraid to make mistakes. We're not as afraid to show up and just be ourselves. We're not as afraid to show up and be great. We're not afraid to show up and say we don't know. We're not afraid to show up and tell the truth of our story. We're not afraid to show up and express in fullness who you are and what you believe in and how you feel that you are a fit for the company, and ask questions to the company to see if they are a fit for you. When you let God speak for you and let God be the one interviewing you and let God be the one preparing the questions for the interview, then things flow much easier. They flow more naturally. It's a process of trust. It's a process of letting go. It's a process of allowing. It's a process of being, simply being. You've done all the preparation, you've done all the hard work. Now it's time for you to just be, lean back, relax, release, let God. I know people say let go and let God, and I love that. It makes so much sense. Let go and let God, because God has got it. So feel free to share in the comments how you are letting God use you in your life or in your career. I would love to hear a little bit about that. So that is all I have for today, my love. I am so glad to release this video as well. I just did a video literally like 30 minutes ago about giving yourself permission to be yourself and not dulling your magnetism and your femininity and your sparkle in life and in your career. So this is my second video today, and I am just so grateful. One of my coaches has been pushing me to just do the thing. So here we are. This video is the result of all of that. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what the experience was like for you and the ways in which God is using you in your life. How is God expressing Himself through you? Anyways, I will catch you later. Bye.